You had a really special connection with Tracy Henderson during that second season at Iowa State. What was that like, and how did you establish that rapport that made you such a good combination?
Tracy had great body language. It's something that you learn, and this is part of what Chris was talking about learning systems, but also I was talking a little bit about learning players. Some guys just have great knacks for giving you hints at the top of their routes, or that's what you call body language. So as I come to the line of scrimmage and I get a pre-snap look at what I think is going to be the coverage, and then when I take the snap and take my first couple of steps, I'm confirming or maybe having to change my mind about what I saw pre-snap. So once I'm able to confirm, then I can begin to try to keep guys where I want them with my eyes. But then at some point, you're going to rotate over to take a look at your receiver, especially against man coverage. Tracy was unbelievable at the top of the routes in man coverage. When you come off the ball, you establish your stem. That's the initial part of your route, the first maybe 4 or 5 steps of your route. You're stemming up the field. And then there's going to be something at the top of the route. You're going to hint. There's going to be a little some kind of body wiggle to create some separation. He had that knack to show you what he wanted to do. And he and I really blended well together. I knew I could get the ball out on time. I knew where he was going to go. If he was going to the corner, I knew I'd get that little stick nod at the top of the route, and he was going to the corner, and I could let the ball go early. I could tell if he'd gotten on top of the corner where I could throw it on a deep angle, or if he was even with the corner, or even with the defender, I could flatten him with the ball, flatten him towards the sideline. He just had that great body language. I had another guy here in Atlanta that I played with, Billy White Shoes Johnson, who was very similar dude. He just had that little wiggle, and you knew, boom, that's when the ball's got to come out. And you got to work with guys. There's guys that you got to say, hey, give me a little something at the top of the route, or let's talk about what you're seeing. That's where, quarterback and receiver really have to blend together. That's where say, why are you guys throwing routes against air? Routes against air is just wide receivers and quarterbacks throwing routes. There's no DBs or anything out there. But what you're learning is you're not having to worry about coverage. You can actually watch the receiver on his route as you drop to throw, and you can start to get that feel for the body language. This is how his body comes out on a speed out, where he rounds it at the top, or when he gets to the top of the route, he doesn't chop much. He puts one foot in the ground, he drives the sideline. I can get the ball out on time. That's all that stuff you're working on, that chemistry you're trying to work on. So when it's game time, you have that natural trust and feel that the ball comes out. That's what I had with Tracy.